To another video. Thank you for tuning in today. Today's video topic is, what is idolatry? Okay, and what is it described as? In the Webster's Dictionary, idolatry is described as the worship of idols or excessive devotion to something, or a reference for something. Okay, and we don't just idolize gods. Okay, the first thing we think of when we say idolize is we think of a god. Okay, but we don't idolize just gods. Actually, a lot of times it's more common today to idolize objects and humans of this world. Whenever you look around, what do people most idolize? It's usually so like money, or celebrity, or some kind of object in life. It doesn't even have to be alive. Like, money's not alive, but yet it's worshipped. Right? You can't store money into heaven. You can't have money in heaven. You can't take it into the afterlife. But yet it is worshipped because of the value of today. But what is more valuable? Money, which only lasts for a little bit of time, especially when you have inflation, right? That money just devalues itself, right? Or a God who is always with you, right? Who is going to take you into the promised land, into the kingdom of heaven, whose value never devalues, it actually increases in value. And a God that has loved you so much, which has given His Son to die on the cross for His love for you. And to think that we idol the latter, that we idol money. Money doesn't care about us. Okay? It's not alive. It doesn't care. It corrupts so many people. It's so evil. Money is truly the evilness of the world. It truly is. So, I want you to think about one thing. What is on your mind right now? What was on your mind 5 minutes ago? What is going to be on your mind in 5 minutes? What's the number one thing you think about in life? Okay, I want you to take a couple seconds to think about that. Now I want to ask you, is your mind on God? Is it on God fully? Because that's a big question. Are you a lukewarm Christian, or someone that thinks, oh, thank goodness for God, I'll go and I'll do my devotion, I'll be okay, but my focus is not on God, is of the things of the world, of the earth. Because I say to you, I'm no better, I do the same thing. And that's something that I've been struggling with and trying to do better. Keeping my mind fully on God. I go through periods of time where my mind's on God, right? I think about God constantly, and I think about how great He is to us. But then I go through times where I don't think of Him as much as I should. I go through times where I get challenged, and I'm like, oh, please, bro, come on, why are you doing, why is it hard for me right now? Okay? I go through these times where I'm not grateful, and I kind of walk away from God. And it happens to everyone. I'll tell you, it happens to everyone. Okay? When we walk away from God. And the thing I want to say to you is, I love this. It's like God doesn't walk away from us. We walk away from God. I watched this video last night. I was like, I need a video. Because I've been kind of struggling with feeling like I'm kind of away from God more than I should be. So I go on YouTube and I search up how to keep your mind fully on God. And Paul Bernard comes up. I love his YouTube channel. I'll link it down below. He's a witty, great guy. His video is how to keep your mind on God. Now, I had planned to do a video on the new earth and the new heavens, because I've been doing research on that. So I was going to do a video on that. But then after watching that video, I was like, okay, God is calling me for something else. I felt it in my spirit. I did. I said, there's a time to make this video about the new heavens and new earth, okay? Because it's a great topic. Okay? But for right now, I need to make a video on how to keep your mind on God. How to keep your mind fully on God, because in a time like this, it's so easy to go away from God and to worship other things. And you might not even think you're worshiping these things, but you are. Right? When you spend more time with an object or a sport even, you're not thinking about God first. God should always come first in life. And that's something that I need to do better. Okay, I can do my Bible reading. I can make these videos, right? And they're great. And maybe I can pray, but I don't fully pray in my spirit and my heart sometimes. All right? Because I'm not fully focused on Him. I'm worried or I'm stressed about the everyday things, right? Where I can't see the big picture. I can't see how grateful God truly is. And when you need to remember how grateful God is and how amazing God is, just think about the character. What is the thing you're worshiping? What's the character of that thing you're worshiping? If it's a celebrity, is that celebrity as great as God? Did that celebrity send his son to die on the cross? Did that celebrity create you and look over you and nourish you and protect you? And say, I will bring you to the eternal kingdom. But on this earth, I will protect you from the sins. I will protect you from the flesh. Come to me. Did any of your celebrities or any people in this world ever say that? No. But what is your character? Wicked. We are a wicked, evil being. Without God, we are the worst. We are truly evil without God because we don't have a purpose. Now people may say, oh, I don't need God. I have a purpose in my life. But that's not true. Without God, we are truly evil. We truly are, I say to you. Now you may ask, how do I get myself closer to God? How can I keep my mind fully on God? And I say to you, protect your mind. Shield your mind. Now that is a hard thing to do in today's society. It surely is. If you go back 100 years ago, it could be considered easier because you don't have all this easy access to wherever it may be. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, etc. Right? It's so easy to fall into the desires of the flesh. It's challenging, right? But what should we say to a challenge? We should accept it and be like, I am getting strengthened, right? My endurance is growing. Let me show myself to God and say, I am shielding myself from the desires of this world, from the pleasures of the flesh. So you ask, Cannon, how can I keep myself protected from everything in this world? And it's something that I've struggled with too, because it's so easy. It's so easy to go on your phone and waste time. It truly is. And it's something that I've been trying to work for, trying to do better. Right? So I come to you today. It's a small thing I'm going to do. It truly is. Okay? But I'm going to give something up. I also want you to try to give something up. Something that makes you fall into temptation, that even just takes your mind off of God. Okay, so it's a small thing. And it might seem small in retrospect or kind of something like stupid, I guess some people could say. Okay, but this is just going to come out so funny. I'm gonna stop watching YouTube Shorts. And now you might think, oh, okay, that's stupid. It may be, but it's something that it's not even necessarily like you look at it and you're like, oh, that's bad. But it's just something small over time that kind of takes you away from God. Just small things at a time, which kind of take your focus away from God. Just small things. And you could say the same thing of TikTok. But I don't have TikTok. I use YouTube Shorts. YouTube gang. But truly, I tell you, I am going to give my full effort. Okay? Because I've done things that I have given up things in the past. And yes, it may have been a struggle in the past. Right? But when I rely on God, I've got through it. So right now, I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to try to cut as much social media out as I can. Now, of course, I'm going to still make YouTube videos, YouTube Shorts, just for those who, use YouTube Shorts and come across my videos because they get the most views. And it's not about views, but about sharing the Word of God, truly. Okay? But it's similar to what Jesus said. I love to say, and this actually made this saying up, I think. But it's very similar to what Jesus said about poking your eye out if it causes you to sin. Right? But I like to say, it's better to cut your hand off than your arm. If that's the dumbest thing you've ever heard, you can just click off and give me a dislike and report me if you want. Okay, but it's better to cut your hand off than your arm. So I'm going to say it once again. How do you keep your mind fully on God? How do you stay away from all this idolatry, from all of these desires of the flesh. Protect your mind. Shield your mind. Shield your mind. Protect it. Remember the armor of righteousness? Use that shield. Protect. So when temptation and desires of the flesh come, you can say, boom, deflected, and you got the sword go, uppercut, killed. Easy. You have to protect your mind. Because your mind controls everything, does it not? Does it not? Even all your involuntary muscles, right? Your lungs, your heart, is still controlled by the mind. No? You can't mentally control it, but your brain still sends those nerve endings and sends all those signals to keep beating. Does it not? I hope that's right, because then I'll look what he done. Okay, but you have to protect your mind. It's so important. And when you say, oh, I'm just going to watch this one thing, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Right, you watch that one thing, but then it snowballs into a lot of other stuff. Okay? And now you're farther away from God. Now you're walking away from God without you even knowing. Proverbs 4:23. Listen to this. I'm going to sit down for this. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for it flows the spring of life. This also applies to the mind, I tell you. No, your heart and your mind are very similar. But your mind can indulge these things and tell you to watch these things. But the heart is the flesh. It's desire. A lot of people say, lean on your hearts, fill in your heart. What does your heart say? So many people say that. But your heart is wicked. It is of the flesh. Right? I forgot I read that somewhere in the Bible. I think it's Proverbs. Where people just say, lean in your heart. Oh, it's going to be okay. What does your heart tell you? What does your heart tell you? And then we see so many problems of what the heart has caused. Right? Us falling into these sins, us falling for these things that we think okay. We say, oh, I'm just following my heart. So I can do all these desires. I can do all this sin. Because my heart says it's okay. And my heart says it's okay. So I'm going to do those things. And that's why we see so many problems in today. Right? You can see it everywhere you go. You can see that with gay rights even. And a ton of other stuff. They say, oh, it's okay to do this. I can go date this person. I can go cheat on my wife or my husband because my heart tells me stuff. Because love, is it not? Yeah, hippie guys. Love is love, as they say. But the heart is truly a wicked thing. That's why it's so important to lean on your spirit and to pray. To pray is so important. Now I tell you so truly, that it is hard to protect your mind. I've already said it, but it is hard to protect your mind. We live in such a consumer market where we want the next thing. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? Companies, businesses, corporations, the biggest thing they want is our attention. Because there's so many things that can get our attention. So they're fighting for our attention because that is the biggest currency of today. Is getting your attention because there's so many things that grab you. And then you may think, oh, I wish I was born in a time like this. I wish I was born 100 years earlier so I didn't have to go through these challenges. But I tell you, you were born for a time as this. I tell you, you were born for a time as this. God has created you and said, it might be hard, it may be challenging. But you, my son, protect your mind. Follow me, walk with me. And truly I tell you, you will enter the kingdom of heaven. Through my grace, you are only saved. You were not saved by the idols of this world. You were not saved by money. You are not saved by celebrities. You are not saved by presidents or by leaders. You are saved by God only. So I tell you, we don't move. We move from God. God doesn't move from us. God is always here. He's always standing there. He said, come to me. Come to me. I have my arms fully wide open. I'm ready for you to come to me. But instead we run to these false idols. We say, oh, I'm comfortable. My heart says I should follow these people, these idols. How evil are we? How evil are we? So we must protect our mind. Keep our mind sharp. Keep our mind on God. Maybe run closer to God. You can do it, guys. I am telling you, I love you guys so much. And I thank the Spirit and the Lord for having me make this video. Okay, because like I said, I was going to make a whole different video on a different topic. And it was going to be a good video. Okay, but I felt this call on last night, and I was like, I'm going to make a video on this. Okay, because I fall for these same things. I idolize what I don't even think I am. I am idolizing. Right? I'm like, oh, I'm not idolizing this. You know, oh, I'm not idolizing money. I just like to have, you know, I like to have a little money. We do it subconsciously, but we're walking away from God when we do it. So once again, this is going to be my end point. Keep your mind sharp. Keep your mind on God. Because when your mind's not on God, then your heart's not on God. The heart and the mind work hand in hand. Lean on your spirit, lean on God, and pray. That's the biggest thing you do. And like I said, I'm going to give my wisdom. It is better to cut off your hand than it is to cut off your arm. Cut out your temptations, cut out the desires of the flesh, and run to God. Thank you guys for watching. I love y'all so much. Y'all have a blessed day.